Hey y'all, welcome to shadow reading. Courage and tenderness. It feels like maybe you're kind of like having a shadow within, maybe finding it hard to be loving and soft with yourself. Like it feels like you're kind of like finding it hard to like have the courage to be yourself and stand in your own authority and have the confidence to say your truth and say what you want, but also kind of be like tender and loving towards maybe the people around you. Maybe you could be feeling like very defensive, feeling like you have to be very defensive after maybe a period of courage or a period of saying something that takes a lot of courage. Maybe in the past you have had dealt with experiences that made you feel like you always had to have your fists up after maybe saying something vulnerable or saying something that meant like a lot to you. It feels like you are really struggling with maybe like having love for yourself, or maybe like having tenderness and kindness towards others around you right now. So you have some type of shadow in like your self-worth. Metamorphosis. It's almost like you're telling yourself like it's like the armor that you're wearing is that it's all part of the process. Like you feel like this is maybe just a part of the learning process. Maybe this is a part of the healing process that you are meant to go through. It feels like you are kind of just like writing it off as something that is the normal in a way, like a part of like your metamorphosis in a way. This is a part of the journey that is supposed to help you grow. You're telling yourself. Discomfort. This is going to be very uncomfortable for me if I deal with this. This is going to be very uncomfortable for me and for the people around me if I deal with this. This is very uncomfortable for me and the people around me because this is not something I'm used to dealing with. This is not something I'm used to bringing up. This is not something I'm used to showing or being vulnerable about. The inflammation, judgment, how the shadow creates swelling in your outer world. So the visible symptoms, it feels like maybe you could really judge yourself in this way. Like maybe you are very judgmental of yourself. Maybe you are speaking on things that are judgmental to you in a way, but you're speaking on it around other people. So like you are kind of judging yourself in front of other people, or maybe you are judging others when you shouldn't be. Maybe judging others when you have done maybe something similar or something along the same lines. Like it feels like there is some type of judgment that you are showing here, and it's either others are seeing you judging yourself, or maybe others are seeing you like pass judgment on situations that they are like, wait, like didn't you like just do that? So the nest, the dark or quiet place that this pattern was born, rising, definitely in childhood. Whoever you grew up around, or whoever you grew up near, maybe you learned this from them. It feels like maybe when you were growing up, the people around you passed a lot of judgment, or maybe like had a lot of harsh things to say when someone would mess up or something bad would happen or something would go wrong. So maybe you learned that you could not be tender and you could not be maybe kind in this way when you were vulnerable, or maybe when you were trying to be courageous in your own way or speak your truth. So maybe you learned like it was cutthroat out there and you had to be just as cutthroat to other people in the same way. Medicine, voice, and grief. It is, you need to speak on it. You need to speak on the grief. You need to speak on it. You need to say how it makes you feel, because otherwise it is going to weigh on you. It is going to weigh and weigh and weigh and weigh on you. And you are going to continue to take it out on other people around you, or you're going to continue to take it out on yourself and make yourself feel bad. So until you use your voice, until you speak on it, until you voice your feelings of grief and sadness towards how you treat each other, or maybe like how you treat each other in situations, maybe when you make a mistake, or maybe when someone wants to be vulnerable, or someone wants to say a truth within them, maybe speaking on how others make you feel in the situation, not being able to feel like you have a voice in these situations because of maybe how you were raised, and maybe how people reacted to you even having a voice in the first place. The only way to the only way to integrate this shadow is to push through and to just force your voice out, to force that grief out, to force that feeling out, and to say like, hey, wait, like you're not going to push this down. Like, I'm not crazy. And I know that we're allowed to be upset about things, and we're allowed to like be vulnerable about things and voice our opinions and stuff. And we shouldn't be made to feel like we are idiots or less than because of it. Okay, and then the raw power, self-embrace. You will have a lot more self-love and respect for yourself, and you will force others to respect you. If you have this type of respect for yourself, if you stand up for yourself and love yourself in this way, you are forcing the people around you to respect you in that same way, or leave your life. It's as simple as that. So the power is that you are stronger in who you are as a person, and knowing what you bring to the table, and knowing like why you love yourself, and why you are important in this situation or in this scenario. You are going to respect yourself a whole lot more, and you are going to force others to respect you or get the fuck out of your life. Cool. If this reading resonates with you, comment below, or if you want to get a personal reading with me, link is in my bio. Love you.